What if I told you growing your own food could yield one of the best returns on investment out there, better than most stocks, savings accounts, or even real estate? Think about it. By growing just $1,000 worth of groceries per month, you're essentially saving $12,000 a year, tax-free. You don't pay capital gains, you don't pay fees, and you don't ride the ups and downs of the market. Instead, you're investing in soil, seeds, and sunlight, and the return shows up every time you harvest a meal. A packet of seeds might cost $3, but if that turns into 50 pounds of food, your ROI is massive. This is food security that grows in value, literally. While others are watching charts and graphs, you're harvesting tomatoes, herbs, and peace of mind. Let's look at the numbers. I started with a modest investment, just $200 into seeds, compost, and soil amendments. That small upfront cost turned into over $12,000 worth of fresh, healthy food in 1 year. If you calculate that out, that's a return on investment of over 5,900%. That's not a typo. While a stock portfolio might bring in 10 to 15% in a good year, and that's taxable, my garden paid dividends every time I walked out the back door, and the best part, the rewards didn't just come in dollars saved. They came in meals shared, stress reduced, and wellness gained. Now, you might be wondering, what does $1,000 a month in food actually look like? Let's break it down. On average, I saved about $200 a month just on greens and herbs. That might sound small, but I used to spend $30 a week on organic kale, spring mix, parsley, basil, and more. With continuous harvest plants like kale, collards, Swiss chard, and even tropical greens like Malabar spinach, I kept the salad bowl full without ever stepping foot in a store. Roots and tubers brought even more bang for the buck. Potatoes and sweet potatoes, two of the easiest staples to grow, saved me around $250 a month. They store for months, are high in calories and nutrients, and are surprisingly low maintenance if you plant them in deep mulch or raised beds. Garlic and onions, though small, really added up in value. Those little bulbs saved me hundreds over the year. Tomatoes, peppers, and squash were my heavy hitters. Between fresh eating, sauces, drying, and canning, I saved another $250 a month just from those prolific plants. Zucchini alone could feed a village in the summer. And tomatoes? Let's just say I stopped buying store-bought sauce entirely. I even fermented some of my peppers into hot sauce and pickled banana peppers for sandwiches. Then there were my pantry builders. Beans and grains. I grew dry black beans, cowpeas, and even a little corn for flour. These crops are calorie-dense and honestly they store beautifully. Between beans, pantry herbs, and things like sunflower seeds for snacking, I cut another $200 off my grocery bill. So how did I make this work with just a backyard garden? You don't need acres to grow this kind of abundance. I used a mix of raised beds, containers, and repurposed materials to grow vertically and efficiently. With about 400 square feet of garden space, roughly the size of a two-car garage, I planned out a high-yield seasonal garden that rotated crops and maximized every square inch. I even grew salad greens in containers on my porch, herbs in hanging baskets, and sweet potatoes in fabric grow bags. Upfront costs were modest. Aside from seeds and compost, I reused buckets, old fencing, and even built a simple compost bin from pallets. Compare that to the cost of investing in stocks or mutual funds. No broker fees here, no waiting years to see returns. My garden started feeding me within weeks. But growing is only half the story. Preserving is the other. To truly stretch your harvest into year-round food security, I learned to preserve what I grew. I used water bath and pressure canning to make shelf-stable sauces, pickles, beans, and broths. I fermented cabbage into sauerkraut and cucumbers into probiotic-rich pickles. I froze extra greens for soups, dried herbs for tea, and used a simple dehydrator to preserve fruit and tomatoes. Planning meals around what I harvested changed the way I cooked. I didn't just save money. I stopped wasting food, got creative in the kitchen, and felt more nourished than ever before. Food wasn't just a budget item anymore. It was a relationship, a ritual, and a reward. So let's bring this all home. A backyard garden that saves you $1,000 a month isn't just a dream, it's doable. It starts with choosing the right crops, planning your space wisely, and preserving what you grow. It's not just about growing food, it's about growing value, resilience, and independence. You're building a personal food system that pays you back every single day. And here's the beautiful truth. Even if you don't grow $12,000 worth of food in your first year, every tomato, every herb, every dollar saved brings you closer to freedom. You don't need to start big. A single raised bed or a few pots on a balcony can set the foundation. One seed becomes a meal. A garden becomes your grocery store. So if I could grow $1,000 worth of food a month, you can grow your own security too. Start where you are. Start with what you have. And watch your garden outperform Wall Street, one harvest at a time.